Yeah. What up, though? This your man, OG Gotti. And since we are in the market now, officially Spotify, Apple Music, iHeart, always been on YouTube, I need to add some substance to the station and have some shows that's about something. Now, one thing I have a problem with is if a person's child overdoses, they're trying to make the drug dealer accountable. Now, this didn't come about until white people started overdosing off of heroin at an alarming rate. Nowadays, these young kids, now all of a sudden, they want the drug dealer charged, the person that they got the drugs from. I think that's bullshit. Unless that drug dealer made this kid take the drugs, held a gun to their head, threatened them, and said, hey, you're going to do these drugs or else I'm going to kill you. And then the person takes the drugs and dies. Okay, yeah, charge the drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? Now, look how crazy that sounded. It sounds just as crazy. Now, I would love feedback on these shows. You can follow me on Instagram at 1OG you can friend me on Facebook at Sean Hale. That's ShaunHale. Sean Hale. ShaunHale. You can follow me at the Illumigati on Twitter. But I think that's bullshit. I think people just don't want to be accountable. They don't want to face facts. One thing that's a problem with me with whites is they don't take accountability. They want everyone else to be accountable, but they don't want to be accountable. When it comes to them, it's always someone else's fault. It's always, and it's not just them. There's people like this in every race, but there are a lot of them in that race. But there are people like that in every race. I've known people. I had a friend where every bit of trouble that her son got into was somehow my fault or somebody else's fault. When it's like, this guy's doing this shit. He wants to be a part of this shit. No one's making him do shit. One time, we got into some trouble. I begged him not to come. He wanted to come. And then when everything went bad, he opened his mouth and then I had the nerve to tell me he missed prom. Like, dude, that's your fault. Nobody told you to come. What the fuck is wrong with people nowadays? Where they don't want to be accountable for their own actions. I don't understand this. I don't know how a person can leave their house, go into the street with the intention of buying illegal street drugs, which is against the law. It's a crime to buy illegal, illicit street drugs. They have every intention of doing these drugs. Now, they buy the drugs, they get the drugs, something goes bad. Now they want to track down the drug dealer and say, okay, you caused this death. How? 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 I don't understand that. You know what I mean? They want someone held accountable instead of saying, maybe we made some mistakes raising this child. You know what I mean? Everyone says, well, they're an adult. They have their own mind. Okay, then why are we charging drug dealers then? And I say that last part I said about them having their own mind because people will say, Well, no matter what the parent did, the kid made this choice to do this. Okay, all right. So why are we charging the drug dealer with the death? Charge them with having drugs or supplying drugs or something like that. But to charge them with death, and I'm not speaking as a drug dealer. I'm not a drug dealer. And I'm not speaking up for him, but I'm just saying, I don't see how that's right. I know a guy, and they tried to do that to him, but he beat the case. So it can be done. That's why they're trying to move to get these bills and all that. You know what I mean? Because they know that some judges aren't going to go for it. But if they make it a law, then they have to abide by the law. And that's bullshit. That's bullshit. No one wants to be accountable for what the fuck that they do. You know what I mean? And it seems like an injustice. You know, a guy goes into a school. I mean, and shoots up the school. They want to sue the gun maker. How is it the gun maker's fault that another person used their wares to commit murder? When you sell guns, when you make a gun, and guns are available for purchase, what do people expect are going to happen with these guns? You know what I mean? When they sell these people these handguns and stuff, what does society think is going to happen with these guns? They're just going to keep them in the house, show them off? Is that it? Or do they know that people are going to commit murders and commit crimes with them? They have no idea. You see what I'm saying? So why should they be held accountable? Let's hold the people accountable. How about that? How about let's say, hey, these people made a conscious decision to go out and kill people. So let's just put the blame on them. Because when a person goes out and kills someone, they don't haul the parents into jail. The parents aren't on trial. So if your child kills my child, can I sue you? Think about that for a minute. Why can't I sue you? Your child killed my child. I feel like you should be accountable, held accountable. Why should the kid or the person be the only one held accountable? Because if my child sells your child drugs and your child dies, and that's like some third party shit, then my child can be held accountable. So if your child kills my child, how come you can't be held accountable? I mean, since we're just making other people responsible, why not? Why shouldn't you be hauled into court? Why can't I say, had you not raised your child better, maybe my child wouldn't be dead? I mean, it sounds about right and fair to me. And it's not off base. It makes sense. Someone has to be held accountable. Not just the person who did it, but also the third party person. Let's hold that person accountable as well. Why not? Let's just everybody blame everybody for the decisions of one. How about we do that? Would that be fair? How come that's not fair? We need to. No parent wants to admit that they fucked up somewhere. You work hard to provide your kids with things. And between working hard, where was the parent? How does your child develop a hardcore drug problem? How? What happened? That's not your fault. Why did they feel they needed to turn to drugs? Why couldn't they turn to you when they had problems, when they felt like their problems were weighing them down and they needed an escape? Why weren't you the person that they turned to instead of the drug dealer? They turned to the drug dealer to make them feel better, to provide them with things that will make them feel better in their mind. Why would they make those decisions? Did they have any knowledge of the dangers of these drugs that came from you and was not brought in a hypocritical way? I know a lot of parents, they downplay the shit that they did in their younger years, or they act like they didn't do anything wrong. So when they're telling their kids, hey, don't do drugs or don't do this or don't do that, it sounds like total and complete bullshit. Instead of saying, hey, sitting them down and giving them your experience, whether it was a personal experience, an experience that you've had with drugs and alcohol or whatever, or someone that you knew. We all knew someone that got hooked on something and, and this, that. We need to give our kids real accounts. We need not just to say because I was a person that was brought up like that. Don't do this, don't do that. Okay, why not? And the only reason the question was asked, why not? Because most of the things that I was being told not to do, they were doing. So when you ask why not, you know what you were told? Because I said so. Not because you're being a rat like me and have to kill yourself working jobs because you didn't get the proper education because you were probably out with the cool kids doing drugs. Give me real accounts. Give me something that I can think about and kind of understand. You know what I mean? And instead of bullshit, you feeding me bullshit. You're downplaying what you did. Don't be in the gang. Why not? Because gangs are stupid and because I said so. Not because you used to gang bang and you almost lost your life a couple times or you lost a friend because you guys were in a gang and this, that. Make me understand that what you're telling me is coming from a real place. You're not just saying don't do something and that's it. You can't do that, especially nowadays because of the internet. There's so much out there. There's so much out there that we have to tell our kids stuff earlier than we would like to. I don't want to. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. I have a 6-year-old. He's very inquisitive. He asks a lot of questions. He's 6. I don't want to have to explain certain things to him. I don't want to have to explain why that man has on a dress or why those two men are kissing or, you know, why his friend has 2 dads or 2 moms or whatever. Now, I don't have anything against these people. Let me clear that up. Nothing. I'm just saying now, I have a 6-year-old who has 1,000 questions, one leading to another one. So now I'm having to explain shit that I don't want to because I feel like he's too young. You can't give kids too much too young. That's how you end up with perverts and rapists and all kind of sexual deviance and shit like that. You know, telling them this is like you can't let your kids see porn or anything like that. And not only because, of course, it's fucking wrong. You don't want them seeing naked people doing that. But they don't understand. They can't grasp that. So you may have a little boy that's watching certain acts on this porno and he's curious. He may want to do some of these things and he doesn't understand that men don't do those things to men and this, that. I mean, you know what I mean? So you have to keep certain things away from them until they're older and can deal with the information that you're about to drop on. Me, I don't know how to explain 2 men liking each other. I don't know how to explain that. And I don't mean that in like any sarcastic bullshit way. I mean, I literally don't know what to say. Because for one, and I'm just being honest, I can't understand how a man could be attracted to another man. Dudes are gross. You know what I mean? Except for me, but dudes are gross. You know? I like women in the soft parts and they smell good and they're soft and stuff like that. So I can't understand that attraction, so I don't know how to explain it. Does that make sense? So, not like I'm saying these people are wrong. I mean, you feel how you feel. Fuck it. What are we gonna do? Me saying that it's wrong and this is that is not gonna change a fucking thing. So I won't waste my time. I don't think about it anyway. I don't care. I don't care what anybody else does. I don't care. Not to the point where I'm upset or anything. I just don't want to have to. That's just like, okay, if I have a girlfriend. I'm not gonna tongue her down in front of your child. You know what I mean? Because they may have questions for you that you're not ready to ask, or they they may see something and may want to emulate. You know, whatever. You don't want that, and I get that. So you see what I'm saying? Why, I don't want certain things happening in front of my kids, and because now I have to answer these questions. Now, of course, we were gonna get a little off subject, stray away from the original topic, because I mean, shit, I can only talk about it so much. No one's calling in. I'm not getting any feedback, so I gave my opinion. Now I'm on to the next thing. But it all boils down to parents and the right people being responsible and having some sort of accountability. If my sons fail, I feel like I failed somewhere. Maybe there's something I didn't do. There was some time that I didn't give. There was information I didn't give. Something, you know. I'll be back with more of these topics. All of a sudden, I'm not feeling too well. I don't know what happened, but I appreciate anyone that will stream this. Make sure you stream it and share it. If you have any feedback, like I say, you can friend me on Facebook at Sean Hale, ShaunHale, or follow me on Instagram at 1OG Gotti. Thank you.